So what I'd like to do now is maybe hand over to Daniel from Russell Mineral Equipment to, I guess, talk a little bit about what RME does and what they're doing with Windchill. So Daniel?
Yep, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Paul, for the introduction. So my name's Daniel Haynes. I'm RME's Engineering Systems Administrator. I've been with RME for 18 years and have lived through 2 PDMs and now a PLM in terms of Windchill. And it's quite an exciting time for RME moving to Windchill. Certainly opens up huge potential for us. So RME is a designer and manufacturer of machines that help support the grinding mill industries in terms of hard rocks. So we have over 500 employees globally, so we are supporting a global business. So as Alan talked about, some of those cloud tools and things like that are more prominent this day and age. So Windchill is certainly a platform that helps us in that area. We're a growing business and we're trying to grow our service side of the business. So moving into a PLM really helps us with a lot of, in the past we would have custom wrote those tools or created workarounds, which basically always in the end of the day equals rework. So when we were going through our PLM selection process, it was a multi-year process, and we were quite staggered when we were weighing Windchill up with others in the marketplace at how many of our requirements were met out of the box. So which equals uncustomized software, which just makes my life a lot easier and makes my team's life a lot easier in terms of supporting the systems and supporting our users. So yeah, if you want to flick to the next slide, Alan. Yeah, so RME has quite a large range of requirements. So our use of Windchill actually spans a lot of different modules. So PDM link, manufacturing link, service information, tools, parts classification. That's a big one for us going forward. Arbortext and Creo Illustrate. And unfortunately, we don't use Creo CAD at the minute, but the future may be bright in that area. We also use ThingWorx Navigate, and as Alan pointed out, the connected PLM modules going forward are going to be a big part of our solutioning process. So primarily our CAD use is SOLIDWORKS, and we've used SOLIDWORKS since it was basically came out. So we're very embedded in that. And a lot of our tools were based around SOLIDWORKS. So we actually get to unhook our CAD from our data management processes now, and we see a lot of improvement and performance gains in those areas. We're also using Windchill as a full-blown document management system. Currently, it's only engineering-focused document management system, but that's only because we're constrained with our implementation project to focus on those areas before we focus on other areas. So Windchill has helped us greatly, and a lot of the gains came from sort of unknown areas of the business. So going through an implementation like this, a digital transformation, so to speak, it unlocks a lot of potential in terms of finding and removing workarounds and custom tools that just live on in departments. It also provides us an opportunity to combine and collaborate on our data in terms of how it's created upstream and downstream from engineering, and create that single source of truth. As I said, we're a SOLIDWORKS company primarily, so we did have PDM Professional, and before that PDM Workgroups. We basically outgrew those systems. So Windchill, we can't see the end, whereas in those systems we did see the end. We also we support our product for more than 20 years, so we still have a lot of our old products still living on in network attached storage and server location. So cleaning those up is one of our priorities. And we are using Windchill from an engineering BOM, manufacturing BOM, and service bond perspectives. And as Alan pointed out as well, like doing more with less is actually a very good win in those areas for us. So we find that we're not creating extra work, and people can start earlier creating what they need to create, and then be pretty confident that when a change does happen, they are communicated to and the change is flagged. So yeah, we're finding out less of those surprises when the machine's being built on the factory floor. And we are combining about 6 different engineering teams, ranging in disciplines from application engineers, mechanical, electrical engineers, mechatronic and software engineers, and of course systems engineers as well. So we're finding that they're not creating their own little tools and workarounds and processes, and they are just going, oh, I've finished with my information, here it is for you guys to keep working. So that's been a great benefit for us. As I said, the future looks really bright for us, so I think we're going to be very busy for the next, probably the next decade. But yeah, parts classification, or what used to be called parts link, has been from the get-go something that we've want to focus on greatly. As a company, we've been quite good at reusing purchase parts and parts that we sort of stock and things like that. However, traditionally we haven't been very good at reusing our own design parts, which from a engineering to order business and a very custom design business, it's quite hard to do. So we see parts link or parts classification as primarily a great tool to help us reuse some of our previous designs and work and make less new parts going forward. Of course, we want to integrate that with our document control systems when we upgrade to Windchill 12, so we're really excited to move to that. We just have to sit on 11 for a bit longer while we mature a bit in our PLM use. As I said, expanding to different departments outside of engineering. Our applications engineering is essentially a sales department, so we are moving into them first, and then document control and process control later. Another point of the PLM was to support our ERP project. So, and it's essentially taking over a lot of custom tools that were written in our ERP. And the ERP guys in our business are quite surprised at how well ThingWorx and Windchill just takes over and does things quite simply in terms of just configuring and setting up some new software and new configurations and tools. So that's great for us. We also want to move a lot of our manufacturing information from our ERP to Windchill. So that's using tools such as process plans, work instructions, and characteristic controls. And ThingWorx, that's it's the big thing from PTC. So we are going to be using that primarily as an integration tool and primarily as service tools. We don't really use IoT so much and predictive analytics and all those sort of things, but that's certainly open to us if our service department wants to grow in that direction. And of course, creating Connect PLM offers us a chance to create some custom apps that create dashboards and role-based targeted apps for our users, so, which they're very excited to have tools embedded in an entire system as opposed to discrete, disparate tools.